We head out in search of a place that we can go wheel during the excruciating Arizona heat. We end up in the largest Pondarosa Pine Forest in the world that happened to have too much water on it and could possibly be the coolest trail in Arizona. No pun intended. And you won't believe what happened to Virgil's rig at the end of the trail. That's what we call
Got the tire roll.
buck wild. Howdy, howdy. We're about to go get rowdy. It has been 120 degrees consistently the last 2 weeks. It's way too hot to go do buggy stuff, but yet here we are. And what we did was we went to the largest Pondarosa Pine Forest in the world in Arizona, which you think is usually desert. Super hard for us to get wheeling in the summer because it's just so dang hot. But I think with the trees and these big mountains to cast some shade on us, I think we're gonna do just fine. We got Vinny. This is like one of the first times he's actually taken this out. He's done some test runs, but this is the first like going on a trail run. It is a rear steer bug. He built it all himself. It's super sick. We also got Virgil and C with us. They've got their rear steer and their rock lizard. They're ready to party. And of course, we got the wrecked buggy. It is a hush hush trail, so there won't be any trail detail on this one, but it's gonna be here for you to enjoy. And if you ever get to know the guys in Payson, earn their trust, they'll let you on their trails as well. So far so good. Temperature is not bad out, not bad at all. It's probably around 75 right now, 8 o'clock in the morning. Perfect. Man, there's a lot of gates around here. Can't tell you where it's at, but wherever we're at, there's a lot of gates. That's all you need to know. Woohoo! This is perfect. Literally just shaded by. Look at how shady it is. It's crazy. This is perfect. Literally just shaded by all the trees. All shade, a little bit of water. Super cool. I think we nailed it. Found the Arizona sneaky spots. Keep it cool in the summer.
What's this trail called?
I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, never mind.
Most people who have not visited Arizona would only think of tall saguaro cactus in dusty, desolate desert. If I wouldn't have known any better, I would think this would be on the East Coast or Northwest. But being in the middle of summer, I'm sure glad that it's here.
All right. We're out here in Payson, and it's pretty all right. I found a shovel. Get the work. There's a rock. Yeah. A little bit. Seriously. It's a wall.
Last time we did that, there was zero water and there definitely wasn't a ton of freaking moss. There's obviously a second line here. I think that's where people are going.
Tires on it.
Do you think it's deep?
I'm gonna give it some runs, but we're just gonna go.
I wonder if that would be similar to like East Coast wheeling.
That's not that deep. I give it 8 inches.
Like a real 8 inches or?
maybe 10. Somewhere between 8 and 40.
Definitely not 10 foot deep. I can guarantee that.
We're making progress here with our measurements. Americans will use anything except for the metric system.
Yeah, that's right.
It's about a quarter of a donkey.
Someone's got to try it.
If I don't hear a rev limiter, you're not doing it right. Your face. Definitely more than 6 inches.
I'm hoping it's not that deep over there.
I'm going to get up there and drive over.
Yeah.
That was definitely more than 40 inches. My air intake is only a few inches above the tops of my tires, which if I went any deeper, I would risk hydro locking my motor. Still wanting to give it a shot, I cross where it's shallower and try to crab walk across the waterfall. That's where you turn both front and rear tires in the same direction. I do this as far as I can forward and then turn all of them the other direction in reverse, allowing me to shuffle across the face of the obstacle, keeping my air intake safely out of the water.
It went all the way under. Your tire went all the way under. Okay.
You're getting my bag wet.
Halfway across just made me turn around and go back. We've lost more camera gear that I'm proud of by getting them wet for messing around in deep water just like this. So I take the easier left line.
Allegedly. That's mighty high up there.
There was no reason for the rest of the crew to mess around with the right line, so they followed me by going up the left line, which is still sketchy due to how high up this obstacle is and the fact that if you come off, you've got a pond as a landing. You always want to be much more cautious when there's deep water on the trail, and the last place that you want to find yourself is upside down in it.
What is it that you're doing?
Trying not to end up like that frog.
Yeah, that
Can you
pump
see
is
some? Beep, I touched
How
one.
close was I? Oh, so cute. Look at that thing.
He's a tadpole.
That's gross, Jess.
You want to hold?
No, it's gross.
It's got
All right, I bet you guys didn't know that there was this much forest in Arizona. Most people don't, but there's a lot of Arizona that's got forest in it. And we're lucky enough, came up here. Weather is so far almost too good, but hopefully it just keeps going like this. There are a few sections of crack that are not super deep, but the sides are really jagged and sharp. In sections like this, you really want to have good sidewall and tire awareness, making sure you ride the walls of the crack, but avoiding really sharp protruding rock edges. Tires are not cheap, especially when you invest in the best. Good tire awareness will keep you from killing tires, from not paying attention, or making silly driver mistakes. Here at Wrecked Gear, we fully believe in getting rowdy and love when the line properly calls for it. But above all, we like to drive as clean and as skillfully as we can. We always try to crawl it first, challenging our rig's geometry, capabilities, and our driver skills. Because there's nothing worse than hitting it with your purse to have to make it, and then having the guy behind you crawl up it effortlessly.
Must be nice to crawl it. Didn't be able to crawl it when Bronson had to smack it.
Yeah. Deeter.
Bronson's the only one that struggled.
Whoa! Oh man! Whoa! Whoa! Ho ho! The flash. Whoa! Holy shit, man! You really gotta pay attention around here. Stuff gets deep real fast.
Sorry for all the in-cab footage. It's kind of hard to walk when it's this hot. Plus, I'm eating my breakfast. Yummy!
This one looks pretty wild. The breakover is just really hard. So I think this would be tough. We've actually been on this trail once, I'm remembering now, and me and Forrest had a hell of a time on this. Hopefully it's a little easier, but I don't know. I remember it being kind of a pain in the butt. The bottom of the obstacle is just rock and nasty clay. The waterfall itself is a really loose, crumbly rock covered in dirt, offering absolutely no traction. To top it off, there's a big trench that's been formed at the top from people trying to crawl it, making a harsh breakover. That means your skid plate is going to bottom out, stopping your rig from pulling itself over. Luckily, we had a few locals give us some well-needed advice.
I was like pointing more this way, and I don't know how far up I got, but I ended up over there and almost down there on my lid.
They said that they had to use the worn winch technique to get over the obstacle, and the only way that I had a chance of making it was sending the ROWDY pedal to the floor. I like to give it a couple feeler bumps before I commit to a full ROWDY, gaining 20 to 30% on each bump. This gives me a good idea how my rig is going to react when I do give it the full send. This lowers the chances of my rig ending up on its lid and saves a lot of time and energy having to roll it back over and pull the spark plugs. Let's see if it pays off. It's a hell of a lot quicker than pulling plugs, I promise. We came back, it was muddier, and now it's worse. And some of the local guys up here were like, man, give it a little throttle. They're like, that's the only way you might have a chance. Dude, that was the way. Popped right up, gave it a couple feelers. Virgil's gonna run over my foot. Can't you see I'm trying to film him here? But yeah, gave it a little throttle, a couple feeler bumps, and felt stable, and then just gave it a good send with the LS and came right up. It was super sick. But that mud makes it almost impossible. Gotta make sure I'm ready to run. I think this is where everyone ends up. Tell me how you really feel, Steve.
F this spot. That's how I really feel.
F this spot. It's tough.
None of us.
Virgil gave it a couple bumps before I pulled up with the camera. His first gear was too low, and his second gear wouldn't spool up fast enough to bump because it was such a short run up. After trying every which way to crawl it, we decide we better grab the Factor 55 kinetic rope off of our ready rope holder and get moving up the trail. The trail took a right turn out of the wash, and we were barely able to fit through some of the trees, making for an interesting and technical exit. Then there was a steep rock ledge we had to crawl up that turned out to be a narrow shelf with massive cliff drop on the driver's side that you had to crawl feet from the edge. This trail had so much variety from mud, water, cracks, waterfalls, and cliff edges. The only thing that would make it better is if there was a huge technical climb. Turns out that we dipped back into the wash after the ridge and caught up with the locals, who had just cleared some fallen trees off of a brand new line that no one has done before, that looked pretty huge and wildly technical. We pulled up right when Cy, the founder of this rad trail and the guy to know if you want to wheel this area, had just finished trying the bonus line, and he took a new technical line. The new line is to the left and the standard line is to the right, and he crossed the gap by going from the left new line over to the right old line, and that put him way off camber to the passenger side, and he barely cleared his rear axle, making it look easy.
Has anybody done that one?
No, I just cleared all that stuff out. I've never seen anybody do it.
Okay, cool. Are you gonna try it?
Yeah, it was full
Yeah.
of trees, so.
Man, I hated it. There's something going to go. But, yes, go.
So these guys are legit breaking this line for the first time. This has not been done before, and he's over here figuring it out. He's doing a great job. It's just a super technical line. It's just got all the bad rock placement, super vert, very technical. You got to know where your rear's at, your front's at, and you got to kind of come into it as a crab, and you're leaned over. It makes it very uncomfortable, but he's doing a really good job feeling it out and just really adjusting to what he needs to do. I'm hoping he gets it. Good save.
So let it roll.
That's what we call
Let the tire roll.
buck wild.
Tire roll.
That was wild.
Neutral.
The first person doing a line in your group is always the one who has it hardest, because you don't get to see how other rigs react or plan how you want to take the line. Factor in the fact that no one has ever done this line and there's no tire marks or giveaways as how to make it up, makes it even that much harder. Unfortunately, we all got to study him while he worked the line and have a huge advantage for when we go to try it. The second line he's taking too is super technical. He had to go up and now he's riding that top shelf, so it's like a super fine line. It's pretty technical, way cooler than just like going up the center. Super sick. He worked it like crazy and hopefully knocked off all the loose dirt for us, ending up taking the same line that Cy had done.
Okay, I've learned some things here. So that's the bump it line. Just next to it is the crawl line. And then that line over there hasn't been done yet. So we're gonna see what we can do here. We like a rev limiter.
That's why we call it the bump.
I've learned things today. All right, buddy. You got this.
Virgil is up and he's looking to be the first person up this obstacle. Now, we've all had the advantage of watching someone else try it, but we still don't know if it's doable yet. This obstacle is way crazier than it looks just because of the loose dirt and rock that crumbles. On top of that, the wild steps and notches throughout the whole thing. One wrong move and you're going over into a pit of jagged, sharp rock.
That's what I was thinking before my
Yeah, Virgil! Woo! Use your front. It's my turn. Usually when I see someone make it, I'm pretty confident that I can do it. But watching how close the drop off Virgil's driver's side tire was concerned me, because my axle width is way wider than his. I had to be extra cautious to not let my front driver drop in. The obstacle is one of the most unique I've ever done, as once you mount it, you have to crab your way up the obstacle, putting you way off camber and making you feel super uncomfortable. I let it get in my head a little bit, but powered through it by feeling out my rig and being super focused on not slipping off the drop off. This is exactly what I needed to end this trail.
Oh man, come on. There it is. Woo!
Alright, so you got it figured out? No.
Vinny's up and I'm blown away that he's trying this. Not only is this his first time driving a rear steer, this is his first time driving a full 2 buggy. Before this, he had a built drag axle YJ on leaf springs. He gets a little Western lining up, but honestly, I think he was just showing off how stable he built his rig. Then he jumps right back into the line, questionably going up faster than Virgil and I. That Vinny, well, that Vinny's freaking crazy.
Sick. Yep, that's just the line it looks like. Very interesting. I don't know if I've seen a line that you exclusively have to crab over.
Right.
Like
So every once in a while, you'll get yourself in one of these really weird predicaments. This guy just made it up, all the hard stuff on this trail. These guys are ahead of us, we ran into him. This is actually Mojab, he's got a YouTube channel, check him out. But he gets up to this spot and he's 95 inches wide, which is crazy big. Well, we get up to the spot, we're almost out of the trail, and look at this. He's too wide to fit between these trees. I don't know what he's gonna do. Soap her up and squeeze her through. We are finally at the end of the trail, and this day could not have been more perfect. And we finally found a spot that we can go wheel in Arizona during the summer. As we all know, nothing can be completely perfect. Don't tell me it's Swiss cheese. All right, trail update, tire update. This sucker is, it's about 3 fingers. It breathes, it'll breathe. It breathes, ain't no plug in it. It looks like there's cracks on it as well. It's an old tire, it's like 8 years old. So we're heading back, and that's that. Hopefully we beat the rain. The royal treatment! Hey, I got the next gate for you guys too. Woo! How does it make your heart feel watching that tire in such shit condition this whole time?
It hurts my soul because that tire
tires, man. Can't put a price on good tires.
Tire inflation.
They're inflated. That one's not inflated. That tire is not inflated. That one's cheap.
Look at all that dust that blown out tire's making. Jeez. We had one of two options: drive all the way back to the trailer and get a spare and some tools, or drive the rocky road nice and slow, being careful not to dent the rim. Sending it back ended up being the only option to make sure we didn't get rained on. Sponsored in part by BFGoodrich Tires, Warren Industries, KC HiLites, and AXEL Off-Road Helmets. Best way to support this channel is give that subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave a dirty little comment below. Rec Gear now has merch and buggy accessories at recgear.com, so don't forget to go spend that money that mama don't know about. As always, thanks for watching.